I want to share a testimony, really, and or maybe a bit of a confession as well, because I've had, I suppose, a few quite challenging weeks, really challenging weeks actually, the most challenging weeks that I've had in a long, long time. I've changed my job, I've been in a new job, and I've had a situation at home that's been particularly demanding, and I think that I got really stressed, and I think when you get stressed you don't really realise, although you know you're stressed, you don't realise. And I mean, well, some people obviously do, and they have, things that help them. And although, in the morning I get up and I pray and ask the Lord to sort of put his hand on the day, I think it's very interesting how that we do that, and yet, that we maybe don't give everything. And it's the only way I can explain it, because I know that I did come to a point, and it's this last weekend. I had a really miserable weekend, and I just thought it's that point that really brought me down, and I just cried out to the Lord and said, I just don't, this isn't the way I want to go on. I just don't feel, I can't. I don't know how to explain. I just didn't, I just wasn't right in myself. So I just took it to the Lord, and I tell you, it's just instantaneous, because the burden that I was carrying around with me, it was awful, and it was so hard to bear it, just disappeared. And my job's been really hard. It's been a bit of an uphill struggle, and I gave it to the Lord, and I said, there's no point in me stressing about it, because you've put me here, and whatever I'm doing, and I think that sometimes that it's trying to separate ourselves from the situation that we're in and see it from God's perspective and not ours, because when it's our perspective it's too hard to do it, but when it's God's perspective, he put us there. He knows, he's probably got a lot more faith in us than we have in ourselves, but we have to share that and come to him, and I was looking and really asking the Lord to what I should speak about tonight. And I hope it's right and that it helps somebody, because the Bible is full of scripture, and I was looking at it earlier, and in times that we're in, the Bible talks about these people who give lip service to following Christ and all the rest of it, and then go a completely different way, and how those people become an abomination to the Lord. And it could be so easily done, because when we're in that situation, only because I'm part of this absolutely fantastic work that with the way that I share my life with Christ, but this work keeps me on track with it well. And if you don't have that luxury around you that is cushioning you and actually keeping you as well, these times are going to be really hard for us to stay on track. So it's really, if in yourself and looking deep in yourself and looking for those barriers, or asking the Lord to seek out those barriers and show you what is stopping you from coming completely, and giving those things up to him, because it's only Christ that can do it. It's not us, but we've just got to realise and give those things up. Let him take over.